And by 2008, we were doing more than $4 million on our website. So,
Oh my God.
and what was interesting is that we never did digital marketing.
So thank you so much for coming, Eric.
My
It's my
pleasure.
pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I was reading about your internet and I saw like you created such a big luxury brand, Art of Shaving, and then you sold it to such a big company in million of dollars. That's what was mentioned on online. And then like you still, I think you're still driving that brand, right, under Procter & Gamble.
No, the Art of Shaving, no more.
So can you walk me through like how did you come up with the idea of Art of Shaving?
Sure. I was a young lad, 28 years old, had to get a job in New York City to pay the rent, and started working for a distributor of men's grooming product from the UK. I was sent for my job to London, and there I saw a lot of shops like selling shaving products and doing shaves, and I thought this was a good idea for the US market. And my wife and I decided to start a small shop like the one we saw in London, in New York City. And we sold our car to open the store with very little money. And within 6 months, the store became very successful. We opened another store, bigger location in a more prominent area on Madison Avenue. And that store did really well. And little by little, we scaled the company more and more for the following 10 years.
Okay, so how did you like validated your idea that, okay, this product gonna work?
You know, we were kind of young and naive, so we just opened a store. We thought we have very little risk because we had nothing in life except my car. We sold the car for $12,000, and we thought, let's just try it. You know, when you're young, sometimes you get lucky. You don't think about it too much. If you think about things too much, then you don't do it.
I understand. But today, suppose, because a lot of people, they get like business idea, oh, I want to build this product, I want to build this. But you know, like if a person has to do something, but sometime, you know, we want to do something, we do it, but then later on we realize, oh, okay, this is not gonna work. So is there any way if I want to validate my product?
Yeah, start small. Start very small so that you can learn and make mistakes very small. And once you figure out that it's working, then you can expand it and get behind it. So it's always been an advice I give people is to think big, but to start very, very small so that you can learn in the beginning before you go all in.
So small, you mean to say like maybe from your home, something like that?
Yeah, just don't invest everything you have from day one to try it. You know, start little by little. If you see that it's customers like it, people are engaged with it, then you can start to expand.
Okay, I understand. And is there any threshold that, okay, if this much I'm selling in a month, then I should go further with the more investment?
You know, every company is different, but once you know, I teach people to crawl before they walk, and walk before they run, and run before they fly. So you just have to know what stage you're ready for and graduate. You know, it's a marathon. It takes a long time to build a great business. You don't have to do it in 2 weeks. Take your time. If you feel you can go faster, go faster. If you feel like you need to still be cautious, take it easy, man.
And what is the importance of coach in like building a business?
Coaching? What's the importance of coaching when you're building a business? Listen, the best athletes in the world have coaches. The most successful entrepreneurs in the world have coaches. So when I hear somebody saying I don't need a coach, I say, well, some incredibly successful people have coaches. There's got to be a reason for that. So sometimes you cannot afford a coach, get a mentor, talk to people, share ideas, people that have been successful in something similar to what you're doing. They may have some clues. Success leaves clues, my friend.
And how did you find your first customer when you started your business?
We opened the store and people started walking in and we started to interact with customers. I don't remember exactly the first one, but that's how we did it. We had a brick and mortar store. We were not online. That's how we got our first customers.
And like you told me you also started like second store after first store. So did you like plan any kind of revenue or something that, okay, if I'm going to reach this much of revenue, then I'll go for second store?
Yeah. Well, we made enough money to open a second store. That was the key, right? Because you have to invest. We had a big article in the New York Times 6 months after we opened the store, and everybody reads the New York Times in 1997. It was a very popular newspaper, and the business just took off right away. So we got a lot of money to open a more exciting location, if you will. And from there, we started to build our own product line. And one day at a time, we started selling to department stores and then opening more stores. And then we went opening stores outside of New York City. And, little by little, we built the company to what it became.
And because that time it was like more, I would say there was no online marketing and, Instagram and all this stuff. So nowadays it's different.
Nowadays different, but some things are the same, like being good to your customer, good customer service, taking care of your customer, good shopping experience. All these things are still relevant today in the digital world. What has changed is how we go about transactions, right? The online transaction. But a lot of the philosophies are the same. I consider my stores to be the original direct-to-consumer, right? Nowadays, it's a very different world that we live in with technology, but some of the principles are timeless about quality, service, customer service, shopping experience, quality products, and so forth.
So suppose if someone has to build the business today, what would be your recommendation like for marketing? Because now it's different. Also, the attention span of people are less, right?
Yeah, marketing is changing every day. Also, what was good 1 year ago is changing already. I think today there's a multitude of things you can do. Obviously, you need to be in social media, at least on the organic side. I think you need to communicate and put your message out there very frequently so that you can really get in front of people's eyeballs. Micro-influencers are really useful nowadays to be advocates for your products. They're more affordable than the big influencers of the world. And some good grassroots marketing never hurts, right? So sampling your products, attending events and things like that still are effective ways to promote your product, at least when you're a smaller brand.
So is it like, do we need any expense or any budgeting on marketing side? Okay, if this much of money, if I'm investing in marketing and my product is not
marketing is the same as anything else. Try it. If you see something is working, put more money into it, right? If you see social media is working, go heavier on social media. You see influencers are working, go heavier in influencers. But the mistake is to put too much money and then find out it wasn't a good idea. Then you don't have the money anymore, right?
So nowadays, do you think like when you were young, that time it was like more physical marketing, pamphlets and all, right? So do you think these things work the
Public
same?
relations was the thing, right? A lot of magazines. Don't forget, we started in 1996, but we had our first website in 2001. So by 2002, we were selling online. And by 2008, we were doing more than $4 million on our website. So,
Oh my God.
and what was interesting is that we never did digital marketing. It was just from customers that wanted the convenience of buying online. So it really varies from one business to another, right?
So I also saw like nowadays you guys have a company where you guide startups and do investment and all.
Yes.
So when you guide startup nowadays, what are the key points you focus on?
Well, building a strong foundation that you can grow from. A lot of companies start growing and they don't have a foundation for the business. You need to have good operations, good products, good supply chain, good people, funding, watching your cash flow. We try to teach them about how to create a good foundation so that you can run the business well, and then as you grow, it's healthy. You're building, a building on a strong foundation. So every business is different. There are different stages, there are different challenges and different opportunities. And our goal is to use some of our experience and connections to help guide them in whatever situation they find themselves in.
And because you will also see like nowadays a lot of business, they are copying each other, right? But one is getting success, one is not getting success.
What do you mean, copies of each other?
Yeah, I mean to say like a lot of business are same, like they are not kind of differentiator, but still they are getting success.
Yeah, it becomes the owner, how they're executing their strategy. But if you really want to go big, you have to be a little bit different. You have to really innovate in your category.
So when you started, what was your differentiator that time in comparison to other?
Well, we were the first luxury men's grooming retail concept in the US. So that brought us a lot of attention. When you're first or very different in what you do, obviously you get noticed more in a crowd, right?
Kind of first mover advantage.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I got it.
First mover.
And right. And what mistake you suggest people to avoid?
Trying to go too fast when you're not ready, right? Also, don't focus so much on sales, revenue. I mean, not sales, revenue. Focus on cash, focus on profits. It doesn't matter if you're selling 1 million or 10 million. It matters how much money you keep at the end.
Okay, yeah, means profit you mean to say.
Profit, but also watch your cash carefully. If you run out of cash, it's like running out of oxygen. You die.
If a person has to do one business today, what would you recommend?
Oh, one business today. I recommend anything that is promoting natural health. So things that are non-toxic. I think there's a lot more consciousness, something that is good for the environment and something that is good for human beings to keep them healthy. Nothing too synthetic, nothing too toxic. Choose a category and make it as natural as you can.
So you mean like today healthcare brand or something which is related to natural healthcare brand, that's like easy to make nowadays?
It's not easy, but I think consumers are becoming more and more conscious about health, and anything you bring to the market that is healthier and not too toxic, I think has a better chance of success.
And I also saw like you guys were also selling in Walmart, your products in Walmart. So how that process work? If I have to, suppose I got a product, it is working well, and I wanted to put in a store, like a big store like Walmart, how that works?
Well, you got to talk to the buyers. submit your products and tell them why you think it's going to do well at Walmart. They might test you in a few stores, and if that does well, they might test you in more stores. But it's never, they're the ones making the decision who gets in and who doesn't. You have to pitch, man. Pitch Walmart, pitch Target, pitch anyone you want to sell into.
So do they have like a form or something on their website where you can submit your product and then they're gonna call
Not sure. I'm not sure about that. They probably do, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. But normally you have to go and then pitch, and if they like it, then because nowadays a lot of brands, right? It's not like they're gonna
A lot of competition. Yeah,
right.
a lot of competition. But if you're the best, they'll want you.
A lot of people there, I've seen like a lot of people are going toward fintech area, like a fintech business, because yeah.
That's not the business I'm in. I don't know much about fintech. What are you referring to?
Yeah, I mean to say like companies like Stripe, payment gateway, or maybe companies like budgeting who are like doing it more in finance.
Yeah, tech companies, fintech. Yeah, financial technology. I get it.
Yeah, right. So what's your thought on that?
That's not the business I'm in. My thought is it's hard to make any money on businesses you don't understand. You got to stay in what you know. And that's what I do with grooming and beauty and wellness. I don't do fintech. I stay focused. I stay in my lane.
Okay, so you mean to say like specialize in one area?
Yeah, in the area you know best.
I got your point.
Unless you're willing to start over and learn a whole new business, which is okay too.
So now you are take startup and you mentor them. So is it like something kind of criteria that
not tech. By the way, it's not tech, it's consumer goods.
Yeah, it's consumer goods.
Yeah, consumer goods. We mentor them, we provide some money, and we also make connections to other investors and to retailers and to anything they might need that we have access to.
What kind of business you guys like select? Is it like
we like luxury mostly. We like beauty products, we like grooming for men, and we like wellness products as well. For us, it's very important the people behind the products, right? We have to really get along with the founders because the products we can change, we can fix, but the people we cannot change and fix sometimes.
No, that's a smart. That's right. Okay, so you mean to say it's more about like how dedicated founder is?
Yeah, it's about the founder. We're very founder centric in our selection. They have to be in the right business. We have to like the brand, but the founder is central to our decision.
And is it like a company startup has to be in certain stage in order to apply?
Yes, they have to have a market fit. So usually $500,000, $1 million in sales or more.
Okay. Oh, it's not like I started business and after 2 months I'm applying.
Not really, no. But people do. Sometimes we can help them or guide them, but we don't invest in startups.
And what is the actual time you would say like a person has to go for investor? Like what stage?
It depends. There's different types of investors. Some investors invest early, some invest growth capital. So there's different types of investors. Sometimes you have friends and family that invest early on. But you don't want to take investors when you're not ready. You need to know what you're going to do with that money when you get it. Otherwise, you can get into more trouble.
And how hard is it to raise an investment? Because normally when a person is like novice and new A young guy doesn't know anything.
If you have a great business story, it shouldn't be that hard. If it's really, really hard, maybe you have a problem with the business, or you're not talking to the right investors, or you're not talking to enough investors, because you need to really be pitching a lot of people to get one yes. You're going to get 99 no's.
Okay, so it's like it may be that you will like some business and other investor won't.
That's right. That's right. Everybody has their target. So it all depends.
And nowadays, a lot of people are doing job. So what do you think? A business can be done as a side hustle and then they can make it big, or person should be like full and
Sure.
full?
Of course. I started my company. I still had a day job for 6 months.
Oh, okay.
So you do what you got to do, man. Otherwise, it becomes an excuse. You know, you got to feed the family. You got to keep your job. You start the business as a side hustle, and when it starts to show good momentum, you know, maybe you can quit your job.
So how did you manage? Like you were opening in the evening time?
No, my wife was was taking care of the business during the day. I was taking care of the business in the weekend. You know, for 6 months we did that. But you know, we were young, working hard. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
When you're old, you don't want to work that hard. But when you're young,
I understand.
you gotta go for it.
But for starting in the store, it requires like a lot of capital, especially nowadays. Suppose if someone wants a store in New York, you know, it's not easy, right? Nowadays.
No. Sometimes, well, it depends where and how you do it, but no, it's expensive. Yeah, we were very lucky. We did it at a time when I don't know how we did it. Frankly, we were just hustling. I told my wife, "You have $3,000 for the furniture," and she made it happen. I don't know how she did it, but we made it happen. Sometimes when you have no choice, you create miracles. You know. You
So
just
for-
can't let anything be an excuse. You just can't say to yourself, I can't do it. I don't have enough money. I already have a job. If you start thinking like this, you're not gonna work. It's not gonna work out. You have to think, you know, we are gonna do the impossible now, and miracles will take a little longer, you know?
So from the store concept, if suppose a person is there and wants to start a business, then as we know, like it requires a lot of, I would say, money to start a store, like physical store, especially like in the big cities. It doesn't matter where you start in the world. So is there any other way or to like do it?
I think today it's easier to start online because it's much cheaper, right? And once you get a little bit of traction, maybe you can do something more. As I said before, you start small, then you grow. It depends how much you have to invest and what you want to do. Every business is different, but I think a lot of businesses today should start online, and to get to know the customer, to get to know the product, you get a lot of information, and then you can make better decisions to grow.
So jumping right away to the store is not a good idea now.
Depends in different countries, different places, different products. You know, there's no set way to do anything, right? There's general consensus on certain principles, but then everyone's different, you know?
Okay, yeah. So my last question is, can you give final advice to the audience who is thinking to, like a 9-to-5 person who is working 9-to-5, I wanted to start a business.
Yeah.
Then can you give a final advice to that person, that what person should?
Sure. You know, being an entrepreneur is uncomfortable. And if working 9-to-5 is more uncomfortable than being an entrepreneur, then you should become an entrepreneur. But expect that there's going to be challenges. It's not going to be easy every day. and it takes a long time. Some people are luckier than others. Sometimes it doesn't take a long time, but on average, to be very successful takes many, many years. So you have to be patient and just go for it. You can't wait for the right time and the right idea and the right circumstance. You just have to do it and then figuring it out as you get along.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that, okay, if I'm becoming entrepreneur, I'm gonna be free, a lot of money, having a nice car, become rich. This is how people think now.
Yeah, that's the goal. But to get there, you have to go through the pain, right? It's like first you have to do the work, and then you get the reward.
So how do you feel like your life when you were doing job and your life after becoming an businessman? How do you feel like?
I hate jobs. I used to hate it. I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to be able to do everything the way I want to. So, it worked out.
And now you are feeling like kind of means even if you're working, but still you feel like you're not kind of working, right? Means it's enjoyment.
Yeah, I mean, I love what I do, so I don't feel like it's real work because I'm enjoying it. But that's I'm older now. When I was younger, I was doing whatever I had to do. Now I'm able to choose a little bit more, and that's the freedom that I have now, which is I'm very grateful for that.
And there's one thing which I figured out, that in order to do something what you like, you need to do a lot of things which you don't like.
Sometimes, yes, exactly. So if you don't go, today's pain is tomorrow's strength,
Right. So that's what I feel sometimes, because even if for the business, maybe you like something, part of business,
yeah,
but you don't like marketing, but still you need to go for it.
That's right. And eventually you have people to help you, but that's 100% correct.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Eric, for your time, and it will help audience a lot to understand how to start.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Have a nice day.